Hey, Mr. Stan 913 here. We're at Fort Sumter Visitor Center. This is Fort Sumter National Park. This is one of the parks of National Park Service. And we're going to take a boat over to Fort Sumter this morning. It's about a half-hour boat ride. This is their aquarium right here. We hear is pretty nice. So this is the visitor center. This is where the first shots started, the Civil War. That's the ferry right there that takes you over. The fort is way out there.
So you'll have 3 of us for all 11 of you today. So if you have any questions,
so there's hardly anybody on this ship
talk
today.
To us, or
and we're getting ready to go off now to the fort. So if you see off to the distance there's an aircraft carrier. There's actually 80 people going over to the fort from that aircraft carrier today, but they're not leaving until later. We're going to be the only ones on the fort, these 11 of us, today when we get over there. And it's about a 35-minute boat ride across. You can walk up here to the front.
Oh no, he's getting the sour cream.
This is it right here. Fort is right out there. But there's the aircraft carrier right there.
I don't know if it's open today, but if you have some other days that you're in town, I would highly recommend checking it out. And like I mentioned just a second ago, the ship off to our left, that is the USS Yorktown CV-10. So this is modeled after the CV-5 USS Yorktown that fought and was sunk in the Battle of Midway. It's Folly. And off to the tip there is Castle Pinckney. So Castle Pinckney was put in 1810, part of the Coastal Defense Plan to help protect Charleston's harbor. And it is technically a fort, but we learned that if you give something rounded walls, you get to call it a castle. Hence the name Castle Pinckney. Much more fun. Not as intimidating in my opinion. The ship
There's a tanker ship coming off to our, look at this tanker ship.
Oh, here we go. We got a beautiful cargo ship. Everyone say hi to your Amazon packages. And so once that outline of the island was made, it was filled in with earthworks. Now a lot of this process required enslaved labor, so they would be brought over on those ships and throwing that granite off the side. Now once the island was formed, it took 3.8 million bricks to build the structure on top of the island. So those bricks, also made by enslaved labor, specifically at Boone Hall. They have a brickyard there. Again, highly recommend checking that out as well. Or McLeod Plantation in James Island. So those are the 2 plantation sites I recommend.
So we're almost there. It looks far away from here, but we're almost to the fort.
What was that name? Oh, this platform right over here? Like straight ahead?
Oh, that's
Coming in now.
So right now.
any tokens from the fort. I'm looking at you memorabilia people. I know you're out there. And as you go into the fort, just keep going straight where you see those steps there and head up to that flagpole. You're going to be helping Ranger Jen raise that 33-star storm flag. And
We're walking to the fort. We're like the first here. They're actually going to raise the flag today. And they need our help. Really shallow right here. And they're unlocking the door. And they got sandbags.
The true Charleston experience. I'm moving those guys.
so just make your way up those steps, guys. You can help raise that flag.
It's not that bad from the storm. So this is what's at the top here. Wow. My dad was a big history buff. My dad passed away a few years ago. He would have loved this. So Fort Wagner's over there at the end of glory. When the 54th assault on Fort Wagner in July 1863, it's right over there. The fort's no longer there. But looking here, here's where we are. Fort Wagner's right over here. So she's going to raise the flag, and she needs help.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll do a quick geography lesson real quick. Ranger Jude talked about a lot of different places on the boat, and then the boat does a big U-turn when it gets here. Makes things a little bit confusing. And it's a little bit hazy today, which kind of obscures some of our sights. But we'll start with the most identifiable thing. So right behind you is that iconic downtown Charleston skyline. We follow that to the right. We have the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge, but here in Charleston, we're simple folks, so we call it the Cooper River Bridge because it goes over the Cooper River. We keep going. We have the town of Mount Pleasant, and you can almost make out some cell towers over there. Those are along the Intercoastal Waterway, which separates Mount Pleasant from Sullivan's Island. Sullivan's Island here is important to us because that is where Fort Moultrie is. There's a little church steeple sticking up over the horizon just to the left of that fishing boat out there, and about 4 fingers to the right of that church steeple there is a flagpole with a flag flying above the tree line. Where that flagpole is with the flag, that is Fort Moultrie. It's the other half of our park. You can visit it today. It's open. You could drive out to Sullivan's Island. We work our way around the harbor. This other island over here is Morris Island. That's where those real life events of the 54th Massachusetts, one of the very first all-black volunteer regiments in the Union Army, their attack against Battery Wagner, that's where those events took place. The Union Army eventually captured Morris Island in the late summer, early fall of 1863. The artillery set up shop and started a siege of Fort Sumter that lasted not hours or days, but 18 months, in which they sent over 44,000 projectiles into Fort Sumter.
So they're going to raise the flag. And they needed volunteers. So this red line up here, you can't really see it. There's a red line is where the fort actually, how high the fort actually was.
So what we fly here at Fort Sumter is a 33-star American flag. It is an exact replica in size and configuration of what Major Anderson and his men were flying out here on April 12, 1861. So, in April of 1861, we actually had 34 states. Kansas had become state 34. Thanks so much for your help. Hope you enjoy your visit. If you have any questions,
And we're 2 of 11 that are here. Later on, there's going to be 80 people here. So we're the first on the island today, on the fort, sorry. Here. So we came down from the top. You can't even hear the water. That's how quiet it is. There's some guns in here. There's a big gun here. They're crawling all up the wall. Look. Wow. There's these little bugs crawling up the walls here. Can't see them because they went and hid.
It says a close look at the wall in front of you reveals Union artillery shells embedded in the brick. They were fired during one of the longest sieges. Wow.
I mean, these are just huge. Look at this. You can see on the walls where the battery took place, like, all there.
That's the gift shop up there.
Right here is a gift shop. And then this was I had a gun here. Only 75 people lost their lives here. But it was hit with over 70-some plus thousand shells. All because of the Civil War. So I highly recommend this trip. Wasn't bad. You see our boats right there. They give you a time when to come back. You get like an hour. You get like an hour to come here and check everything out. So if this is your first time watching, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. Like to receive future notifications, hit the bell. Like this video, give it some thumbs up. Fort Sumter, Charleston, South Carolina.
This is Stan 913. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you again soon.